Hey there, fourth graders. This is Mrs. Smith, and today we're doing Unit 2, Lesson 17, and we're going to compare different methods of multiplying just like we've done before, but today we're doing it specifically with multiplying a single digit by a 4-digit number, so something in the thousands place, okay? All of the rules that you know still apply. Now we're just working with a bigger number, okay? So don't stress, it's going to be fine. So here we're multiplying. It says, look at the drawing and the 5 numerical solutions for 4 times 2,237. So we have 4 on this side, and then 2,200, oh, did I say 47? I meant 37. 37, which altogether is just the expanded form of 2,237. With method A, it still has that number in expanded form here, and then you're writing out the individual multiplication sentences and then finding the partial products. So 4 times 2,000, 8,000, 4 times 200, 800, 4 times 30, 120, 4 times 7, 28, and then you add them up, right? This is expanded notation form or strategy or method. Here, it's all that same stuff, except rather than writing out each of these problems, the person probably just said, okay, 4 times 2,000, 8,000, 4 times 200, 800, 4 times 30, 120, and 4 times 7, 28, and then added it up. It's just a little bit less to write, but all the steps are still there, okay? Then here, they did the same thing, but they just didn't put it in expanded form in method C. So they multiplied the 4 by each portion based on their place value, found the appropriate partial products, and added it together, and you'll notice it's the same answer here, right? Method D is extremely similar, except it began with, our first partial product here is 28, so what does that mean? Rather than starting with multiplying by the biggest place value, it's starting with the smallest place value, and then it works its way all the way to the other side. All of these partial products are still there. They're just in backwards order. And added up, they make the same amount, right? Here, these two look a little bit different from the rest of them, but very similar to one another. This is that shortcut method, right, that you've learned about with the smaller place value. And here you can see that 28, the 2 tens, is in the tens place. And then it is that 2 tens is added when you do the 4 times 30. So then you have the 2 tens there that joins the 20 that's in 120. So a 4 comes down here, and then that 100 joins the hundreds place. And then you have the 4 times the 200, which is 800, and you added one more 100, and then you have 900. 4 times 2,000 is 8,000. So that's just a lot more compact. The only difference between these two is we put the numbers up top over here and the numbers on that line down there. Pretty similar. That's just kind of a personal preference, showing the new groups above or below. So think about it for a moment. I want you to write down some similarities that you notice here and then hit play when you're ready to see what I wrote, okay? So, they all end up with the same partial products and the same, like, full product, right? Okay. How are they different? 3 differences. So E and F show the new groups in above or below. So E and F show the new groups differently. Method A wrote out each step, which is more writing than B, than really the rest of them. And then method C and D are more compact, right, than methods A and B. But they're more, what would be the word? I guess kind of expanded. They're more drawn out or expanded than E and F. But more expanded than E and F. So it's very possible that you wrote something a little different than what I wrote, but it's probably kind of similar. Okay. Number 3, how do methods A and D relate to the drawing? List 2 ways. So think about it, and then when you're ready, you can hit play. Okay, so I'm going to write, they both show multiplying the single digit factor by each place, right? For each place value. So they both show multiplying the 4 by place value. Let's see, what else do they have in common? Well, I guess it says how do they relate. So, and you find the partial products and you write out all the partial products. They also have you write out the full partial products. And that's a little different than these ones because you're not writing 120 and the 20 from 28. You're just sort of smushing those together, right? Let's go ahead and turn that page. Now we're looking at that shortcut method, and I know it can seem a little complicated, but it is pretty handy, you know, if you don't have a lot of space. Like if you look later, there's not a lot of space to draw those pictures, right? So practicing that shortcut method, at least sometimes, is really convenient. It's like math on the go, right? Okay, so with both of these, the only difference is, oh, let me squish that down there. There we go. Only difference is we're showing our new groups either on this line or we're showing our new groups above the higher factor. So otherwise, they're pretty much the same. So in step 1, what are we doing? We're multiplying 4 by 7, and we're getting 28. The tens are joining the tens place, right? They're going up above the 3 that's already in the tens place. So same thing over here. It goes in the tens place either above or below. So 7 times 4 equals 28. The 8 went in the ones place. And the 20 joined the tens place. If you need a little more time to write that down, you can pause this. I'm going to move on in case some other kids are ready. Number 5, describe what happens in step 2. Let's look at step 2. We have our 4 times 30, not times 3, but times 30, 3 tens, and we get 120. the 100 is joining the hundreds place, and that 2 gets added, the 2 tens gets added to the other 2 tens, and that's the same thing happening over here. The hundreds is joining the hundreds place, and then that 2 from earlier is added to the 2 tens from 120. So that's 30 times 4. That's 120. We should probably say it in the same order. So the 2 tens from step 1 are added to the 20. The 100 joins, oopsie, there's no S there, or no apostrophe there, silly me. The hundreds place. Okay. I'm gonna scooch this over here so my head doesn't block it anymore. Silly. All right, step 3, what are we doing here? We got 4 times 2. How come there's a 9 there? Do you know? It's because that 100 is joining that 800, right? So 4 times 200 plus 100 is 900. So 200 times 4 equals 800. The 100 from step 2 joins the 800. Okay, so then we have 900 there. Same thing over here, it's just down below, right? Then step 4, we have the 4 times the 2,000. Are we adding anything to it that time? No, because there was nothing to add. So we'll write that down. So 2,000 times 4 equals 8,000. And then we just put it there, right? In the thousands place. We put 8 in the thousands place. I don't even think we need to write that down. All right. So just remember, when you're doing the shortcut method, you're still getting all those partial products that you would get if you were to write it out like this, but it's just a little bit more squished together, right? Okay. Go ahead and look at the next page. It's about rounding and estimating with thousands and hundreds. You can use what you know about rounding and multiplication with thousands to estimate the product of really anything, but in this case, 4 times 3,692. So to make it easy for yourself, find the product if you round up. What's 4 times 4,000? Well, 4 times 4 is what? 16. So 4 times 4,000, 16 times 1,000, 16, 0, 0, 0, 16,000. Find the product if you round down. 4 times 3,000. Well, that's 4 times 3 times 1,000. So what's 4 times 3? 12. And then times 1,000, 12,000. Now the question is this: which one of the two estimates will be closer to the actual solution and why? And they're quite far apart, right? They're apart by 4,000, so that's a big difference. Which one will this real amount be closer to? What do you think and why? When you're ready to hear my answer, go ahead and hit play, but for now pause it and think about it. So if you're rounding to the nearest thousand, right? Then you look in the smaller place value. Now you're looking at the hundreds. What's our funny little rhyme? 5 or more, let it soar. 4 or less, let it rest, right? So then 6 is 5 or more. So we let it soar. It goes up to the next 1,000. So this should be closer to 16,000, but not super close, right? Because it's not like 3,999, it's 3,600. So it's not going to be right there, but it'll be closer to the 600 or 16,000 than the 12,000. it will be closer to the 16,000 because 3,692 is closer to 4,000. Now we can go ahead and see how close it actually is. And we're going to try out that shortcut method that we were just talking about, okay? So don't be worried. Go get your whiteboard if you don't have space on your paper. So 3,692 times 4. Okay. 4 times 2, 8. 4 times 90. So 4 times 9 is 36. So 360. So 60 goes here. The 300 is going to join the hundreds place. 4 times 600. 4 times 600. Let's see, 4 times 6 is 24. So 2,400, 2,400. Our 300 is already there. So 300 plus 400, 700. And we said 2,000. Then 4 times 3,000, let's see, 4 times 3 is 12. So 4 times 3,000 is 12,000. We already have 2,000. We're going to add those up. So then we have 14,000. And you know what? That's not too far off from 16,000, 14,768. Let's write that down. And then the next question, we kind of already addressed it. Why is neither estimate very close to the actual solution? What do you think? I'm going to say 3,692 is not very close to either 4,000 or 3,000. Right? Okay. Here we go. What would be the estimate if you added 4 times 600 to this earlier thing that we did with the 3,000? That would sort of scooch it, right? So 4 times 3,000 was the 12,000. 4 times 600 is 2,400, right? So then we're going to add that in. Then we'll have 14,400. If we added 700, which, ooh, this 692 is only 8 away from 700, right? That's really close. That's like almost the same number, except it's just 8 away, right? So if we had that 700, which is 2,800 added to that 12,000, then we're at 14,800. Our real truthful answer was 14,768, which, guess what, is super duper duper close to 14,800. So it's pretty useful when you start getting more specific in that place value, when you have not just the thousands but the hundreds. If you're estimating that, you're getting closer and closer to the actual factor, so then you're getting closer and closer to the actual product or answer. Does that make sense? Okay, so here it says estimate 4 times 7,821 by rounding 7,821 to the nearest thousand. So we'll look over from the thousands place to the smaller place value, the hundreds. 5 or more, let it soar. 4 or less, let it rest, right? So that is going to soar up to 8,000. So 4 times 8,000 is 32,000. And then the actual product, let's go ahead and do that on our whiteboard. There's a little more space there. Okay, so 7,821 times 4. 4 times 1, 4. 4 times 20, 80. 4 times 800, 3,200. So 200 in there, and then the 3,000 joins that there. And then 4 times 7,000 is 28, plus 3 more, so that's 31,000. So then our answer is 31,284. It's like pretty close, but it's not super duper close. How would you get it closer with an estimate? What do you think we should do? You ready to hear what I think we should do? I think rather than rounding to the nearest 1,000, we could round to the nearest 100. So we could do 4 times, what's the nearest 100 for that? 7,000 is just 800, right? So let's go ahead and do that. That's probably going to be so close. 7,800 for 0, 0. 4 times 800 is still 3,200. 4 times 7,000, 28,000 plus 3 more, so 31. So, ooh, that is so close. It's only 84 away, right? So that equals 3,000 or 31,200. Okay. So, number 18 and 19. I want you to give it a shot. When you're ready to see what I think, you can go ahead and join me. All right, we're going to do, this is going to go to the nearest 1,000. So 6 times 3,000. Or 6 times 3,100. Because actually it's really close to 3,100. I bet that'll be closer. Let's do that one. 0, 0, 600, and then 18, and then the real answer. Well, it doesn't say to find the real answer. We'll just go ahead and go with that. 18,600. Now we're moving on to the next one. What do you think we should round that to? We could go just to 3,000, but that's going to be kind of far off, right? So how about we go 7 times 2,800. That's pretty close. It's only like 20 away. 2,800 times 7, 0, 0, 56. So 5 goes there. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 5 more, 19. 19,600. All right, flip. Almost done here. Oh, this has been a long one. Just hang in there. So you can use estimation to decide if your answer is reasonable. I want you to solve, or first estimate, then solve and decide if your estimate was reasonable. So we're going to go ahead and do this first one here. 3,487 times 5. Okay, 35. 5 times 8 is 40, so plus the 3 more. So there we go. Wait a second. 43, so 3 goes there, 40 goes there. There we go. 5 times 4 is 20, plus the 4 more, so 4 goes there, 20 goes here. 5 times 3 is 15, plus that 2, so 17. So we're getting 17,435. And if you were going to do times 3,000, it should be more than 15,000. So if we do 17,435. 18,000. Okay. This one, it's almost 9,000. So 7 times 9 is 63. So 63,000 is going to be a little high, right? So let's do 8,894. 7,000. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 9 is 63. Add that 3 to the 2, so 5. 60 tens is 600. So 7 times 8 is 56. Add that 6 to this 6, so we have 2 here, and then instead of 56, now it's 66, or 62, yeah. And then 7 times 8 is 56 again, plus the 6, the 2 there, 62. So we said almost 63,000, which is pretty close. It's not that bad. So 62,258 less than 63,000. Right, here we go. Almost 8, right? Almost 8,000 here on this one. So 4 times almost 8 will be almost 32,000. So 7, 8, 1, 2 times 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 4 tens is 40. 4 times, or sorry, just 4, 4 tens. 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 7 is 28 plus 3 more, so 31. So we said it's almost 32,000, and we're right. It's almost 32,000. 31,248. Okay. Here we go. It's a little bit more than 4,000, so it should be a little bit more than 12,000 for our answer, right? So 4,109 times 3. 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 0 is 0 plus those 2 tens though, so that goes there. 3 times 100 is 300, and 3 times 4,000 is 12,000. So we're right. It's just a little bit beyond just 12,000. So 12,327 more than 12,000. Okay, let's look at our puzzle penguin. Here we go. Dear math students, my school collected 2,468 empty cartons of milk during the day today. If the school collects about the same number of cartons each day for 5 days, I estimated that the school will collect 17,500. So then they wrote down the estimate, so 3,500. What do you think about that? Hit pause and think about it. Let me know, or hit play when you're ready, and I'll tell you what I think. I think he should have done either rounded down to just 2,000 or do 2,500. But he did 3,500, which is a whole extra 1,000. When you multiply that by 5, it's an extra 5,000. So, oops. That should have been 5 times 2,500. Not 3,000. Oh my gosh, 3,500. Whoops. All right, my friends, go and see if you have an assignment, and I'll catch you next time. Bye, everybody.